adjourn, Lydia said. Say that again. How many what? We need to select our prosecutors
Yeah.
for one thing.
But I'm way at the back. We're the last on the
Well,
agenda.
we can put that on there. Land Committee has one. Or do you need to discuss things with James Begeman?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to, especially the one, we should, because it's for Wounded Knee District. It's that lagoon out there, and we need to deal with that because it might be jeopardizing funds. The other one, the 7 year, 7 generation, we haven't received any funds on that yet, the tribes, but we think we should take care of that lagoon. I called Mr. Bagman, and he's by here, so he will come if we have questions about that Wounded Knee Lagoon. Thank you. So we do need to take care of that one.
Law and Order, you have one.
Yeah, we have the 2 prosecutors.
Yes, that's the priority right there. HHS,
Chair, that first item, I believe you took care of already in the XB. We did get the letter back from regional,
Yep.
or region office, so all we have is the 2 midwives.
okay, all right, you want to do them? You had your hand up, Lisa Jumping Eagle?
Yeah, Chanta, it's just gonna be A and B, the first and second one.
Okay.
That's according to her. So that's the one you're going to do. Is that E, B, and D? She's now the new chair.
Susan couldn't make it for nursing home.
Okay.
She's going to set up a meeting.
So I'm looking for my, where'd my agenda go here? What? Don't start that now. I was just thinking, whoa, we can't do that one yet. So the 2, the reports from the Aberdeen area will move to next session as requested by Ella John Carlo, the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the Office of Special Trustee. We'll move them ahead to next month, or Dave Puyer, same one?
So, Mr. Chairman, I know we're talking about this, but I think we might as well discuss it. You know, and I know we set a date for December 19th for a special,
Yeah.
but to be honest with all of ourselves, I think we need to set a date for the next regular session, because I don't think we're going to be fooling anybody that we're going to be here the day after Christmas for the next session. So I think we need to get that straightened out right here, while we're
29th is our holiday, so do we want to go to 27th and 28th? So we have the 27th and 28th, which is that Wednesday and that Thursday.
27.
So we shoot for the 27th. That's fine. We can do that. We will make it that day. It won't be the 26th. It'll be back one day. Okay? All right. The nursing home, we'll move on to the next one. So we have the OST Economic and Business Development Committee. Item A and B. Councilman Wilson, are you reading our resolutions, or? I have one if you need a copy. Okay.
Okay, it's the resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Unincorporated Tribe. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council approving contract agreement, project number 10616141 for BIA 41, BIA 32 North to US Highway 18 overlay. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe organized in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934 on December 14th, 1935 by adopting a federally approved constitution and bylaws. And the Tribal Council is the governing body of the tribe. And whereas the Tribal Constitution authorizes the Tribal Council in Article 4, Section 1F to manage all economic affairs and enterprises of the tribe, and in Section 1W to protect and promote the health and general welfare of the tribe and its members. And whereas proper upkeep and maintenance of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation roads is vital to the safety of tribal members and to the economy and welfare of the tribe. And whereas the Tribe's Department of Transportation, OST-DOT, has endeavored to resurface approximately 7 miles of BIA 41 between BIA 32 and US Highway 18 for health, safety, and convenience of tribal members. And whereas the Department of Transportation has procured funding to complete the construction of the facility and conducted a bid letting process in accordance with tribal law for completion of the project. And whereas Bituminous Paving provided the lowest responsible bid of $1,985,270 for the services required, and the bid was within acceptable cost parameters for the work. And whereas contract negotiations have occurred and the attached contract has been reviewed by legal counsel for the tribe and agreed to by Bituminous Paving Incorporated and the Oglala Sioux Tribe Department of Transportation. And whereas the Economic and Business Development Committee of the Tribal Council met on this certain day, 2017, and voted to approve the attached contract and forward it to the Tribal Council for final approval. And whereas the Tribal Council has considered the matter and determined that it is the best interest of the tribe to enter into the proposed construction contract. Now therefore be it resolved that the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe does hereby approve the attached contract between the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Bituminous Paving Incorporated for professional construction services to be provided to the Oglala Sioux Tribe in order to complete the Department of Transportation project. And be it further resolved that the President, Vice President, and Director of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Department of Transportation are hereby authorized to sign the attached contract on behalf of the tribe. With that, I so move.
We have a motion by Chancey Wilson, got a seconded by Austin Watkins. Call for the vote, please.
Lane Little Thunder,
Yes.
Jim Meeks,
Yes.
Austin Watkins,
How?
Chancey Wilson,
Yes.
Stephanie Leisure,
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian, Lydia Bearkiller,
Yes.
James Cross,
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo,
Yes.
Richard Greenwell,
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow, David Puyer, Sonia Little Hawk Weston, Jackie Sears, CJ Clifford, Lisa Jumpin' Eagle DeLeon,
Oha.
Craig Dillon,
Yes.
Motion is carried, 16 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, and 1 not voting. Thank you, council. Next one, please.
Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Unincorporated Tribe. Resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the general manager of the Prairie Wind Casino to purchase 6 new Class 3 slot machines. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935 in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. subsection 5123. And under Article 3 of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Constitution at Article 4, Section 1F gives the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council the authority to manage all economic affairs of the tribe, and whereas the Prairie Wind Casino has identified 6 Class 3 Aristocrat slot machines that it wishes to purchase. And whereas the Prairie Wind Casino Management Committee met on November 15th, 2017, approving the purchase of the 6 Class 3 slot machines from Aristocrat. And whereas the 6 ARC single Class 3 slot machines are currently the highest revenue generators nationwide. And whereas the Prairie Wind Casino will purchase 6 new Class 3 slot machines from Aristocrat at $11,442.08 per month for 12 months. And whereas the Prairie Wind Casino is moving in the direction of reaching its immediate goal of having 400 Class 3 machines on the gaming floor within the next year. And therefore be it resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council hereby approves the purchase of 6 new Class 3 slot machines exceeding the $75,000 procurement authority for the Prairie Wind Casino to achieve full compliance with the new gaming compact. With that, I so move.
Motion by Chancey Wilson, seconded by Richard Greenwald. Call for the vote, please.
Blaine Little Thunder.
Yes.
Jim Meeks.
Yes.
Austin Watkins.
Oh.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Stephanie Leisure.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian.
No.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Ella John Carlo.
Yes.
Richard Greenwell.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow. David Puyer. Sonia Little Hawk Weston. Jackie Sears.
Yeah.
Colin C.J. Clifford. Lisa Jumping Eagle DeLeon.
Oha.
Craig Dillon.
Motion did carry 15 yes, 1 no, 0 not abstained, and 1 not voting. Thank you. You have one more.
I just have a comment.
Okay.
Chauncey, do you think we could get that agreement, a copy of it to attach to this resolution?
Yeah, the secretary
It's,
should have had it with it, but, yeah.
Purchase agreement.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll get that done. And I have one more.
Okay. I know this one's been on here for
Yeah, it's
quite a
been
while.
sitting here for a while, so.
Yeah, okay.
It's the resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and Unincorporated Tribe. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the amended agreement 910924 between the Oglala Sioux Tribe and the State of South Dakota Department of Transportation in regards to the special provision for Indian employment and contracting on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14th, 1935 in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. subsection 5123. And under Article 3 of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Economic and Business Development Committee is a standing committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe did on May 14th, 2014, enter into an agreement with the State of South Dakota Department of Transportation on Indian employment and contracting related requirements for highway construction and maintenance within the boundaries of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, and was assigned agreement number 910924 by the State of South Dakota. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe and the State of South Dakota Department of Transportation have agreed to amend the existing agreement 910924, include the payment by prime contractors for waste removal and disposal of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation of an additional 1%. And whereas this 1% fee for waste removal and disposal on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation is in addition to the 4% imposed by the Tribal Employee Rights Office fee. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe Economic and Business Development Committee did meet with the quorum present on the 6th and 7th days of October 2017 in Deadwood, South Dakota, and did approve this resolution for presentation to the Oglala Sioux Tribe. Now therefore be it resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council, based upon its recommendation of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Economic and Business Development Committee, does hereby approve the attached amendment 1 to Agreement 910924 which is attached and incorporated by reference as it is fully forth herein. Be it further resolved that the President of the Oglala Sioux Tribe is authorized to sign Amendment Number 1 to Agreement Number 910924 between Oglala Sioux Tribe and the State of South Dakota Department of Transportation. With that, I so move.
Second.
We have a motion by Chancey Wilson and a second by Lisa Jumping Eagle De Leon, but I have a question before we call for the vote. Mr. Wilson? I have a question for you before we do this.
Okay.
In the process of this resolution, is this going to procure and take care of our existing trash problem right now? Because I just got a request yesterday for me to sign and to pick up the, take back the burn ban, because the solid waste wants to burn their own waste. What is that all? Is that a part of this thing right here?
No, this is for the contractors doing state work on the state highways. They're not paying any fee for disposal of anything, so we're adding a 1% tax onto their contract to address their waste.
Okay, all right, but and that's why I was just trying to make it clear that, because they were wanting me to solid waste program wanted me to lift that ban, but I told them I wasn't going to do that, because right now we're in extreme fire danger, and if you lit something up, it happened in Oglala here a couple weeks ago, right on Highway 18. Mission Flats. We've been really, really lucky. Yep, but I got it clarified. Question.
Okay, and then so this 1% added on here, the whole 1% will go to solid waste, right? For their operation, because that's what it's saying.
Let's go. It goes to a tariff fee.
It goes to the tariff fee. Bob's right there. He can answer it.
Come up here, Robert Palmer. Please state your name and
Robert Palmer from Oglala.
and turn your microphone off and restate it again. Redo it all.
No, 80% of this goes to solid waste, 20% goes to EPA. It's actually an EPA 1% fee. It's on all construction projects. What we're adding is just language that the state of South Dakota can incorporate into their contracts for their construction projects, and to make it allowable for the state projects.
So 80% will go to solid waste.
80% goes to solid waste. Yeah, we currently collect it from all construction projects, but except for the state projects, and they just want something formal and an agreement to include it into their cost for their construction projects coming up.
Okay. All right. Are we clear? I am now. I'm clear to partly cloudy, but we're okay. Call for the vote, please.
Blaine Little Thunder.
Oh, yes.
Jim Meeks.
Yes.
Austin Watkins. Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Stephanie Leisure.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Ella John Carlo.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow.
Oh,
David Puyer. Sonia Little Hawk Weston. Jackie Sears. Colin C.J. Clifford. Lisa Jumping Eagle De Leon. Craig Dillon.
Yes.
$15 yes and 2 not voting. Thank you, council. Thank you, EB&D committee. Our next one, no education, no finance. HHS.
thank you, Chair. Resolution of the Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe approving the contract between the Native Women's Healthcare Program and Shyla Lewis, certified nurse midwife. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe organized in accordance with the Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. 5123, by adopting a federally approved constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14, 1935, and under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas Article 4 of Section 1A and W of the Oglala Sioux Constitution empowers the Tribal Council to negotiate with federal governments on behalf of the tribe and to adopt laws protecting and promoting the health and general welfare of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its membership. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe operates the Native Women's Health Care Program, a governmental agency of the tribe, pursuant to self-determination contract entered into under PL 93-638 to provide health care services for tribal members. And whereas the Health and Human Services Committee is a standing committee of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and has delegated oversight of the health care programs, specifically the Native Women's Health Care Program. And whereas the HHS Committee on November 21st, 2017, met on November 21st, 2017, and recommended approval of the attached contract. And whereas Shyla Lewis is a certified nurse midwife and has medical credentials and experience in midwife services as specified in the contract. And she has previously contracted with the NWHC program. And whereas the contract has been negotiated with Shyla Lewis and is acceptable to the HHS committee and the director of the Native Women's Health Care Program. And the committee recommends approval and forwards to the Tribal Council for final approval. Now therefore it be resolved that Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe does hereby approve the contract as herein stated. And therefore it be resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribal President or in his absence, the Vice President is hereby authorized to sign the contract on behalf of the tribe. I so move.
Question by the Secretary.
There's a contract attached to this resolution,
Yes.
and the contract was approved by the Executive Committee on October 4th, 2017, and it was number 17-159XB. So would this be a different contract, or?
Should be the same, huh? Same contract.
So we're just doing.
So are
So
we,
do we need to do it then? Why?
it's already been approved by XB.
What about the second contract?
It's the same thing.
Chelsea Iverson contract?
This one for Chelsea was also approved on October 4th, 2017. It's resolution number 17-161XB.
Okay, Chair, no, now that we have that information, we can move on to, we're good then.
We're sorry.
Also, the other one too
catch
we
it.
talked about is 17-159XB has been approved too. And that's on this other one, 159. Okay? All right, we move on. Thank you. That's done. HHS is done. OST Land and Natural Resources Committee.
Chairman, I asked the secretary to read the resolution on the Wounded Knee Lagoon, since it's only 10 pages long. No, I just,
Yes. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and unincorporated tribe. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe delegating authority to the tribal president to execute a grant of easement and other necessary documents for the Oglala North Manderson, and Sharps Corner Community Water System upgrades.
Excuse me, that's the wrong one. The one on the lagoon. That's the second resolution.
Item D? Okay. Resolution of the Oglala Tribal Council of the Oglala Tribe delegating authority to the tribal president to execute grants of easement and other necessary documents for the Wounded Knee Sewage Lagoons Access Road, Sewer Main, Sewer Service Lines, and appurtenances. Whereas Oglala Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, 25 U.S.C. subsection 5123, and under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Oglala Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Tribe. And whereas the tribal constitution authorizes the tribe to negotiate with federal, state, and local governments on behalf of the tribe to approve the sale, disposition, lease, and encumbrance of tribal lands and interests in tribal lands, to manage all economic affairs and enterprises of the tribe, and to protect and promote the health and general welfare of the Oglala Tribe and its membership. See Article 4, Sections 1A, 1F, and 1W. And whereas Oglala Tribe has entered into a memorandum of agreement, MOA, with the Indian Health Service for a project known as construction of the Wounded Knee Sewage Collection System expansion and lagoon renovation. And whereas the project will involve removal and disposal of biosolids from existing lagoons, renovation of existing lagoons, construction of a new lagoon cell and percolation cell, lining lagoon cells with geosynthetic clay liner, reshaping and graveling existing access road, installing PVC sewer main pipe, PVC sewer service lines, cleanouts, and precast concrete manholes. And whereas completion of the project shall require that the Oglala Tribe grant easements over certain tribal lands where the project will be located. And such easements shall be granted from the tribe as grantor to itself as grantee. And whereas the Land and Natural Resources Committee of the Oglala Tribal Council, having considered this matter, has approved this resolution and recommends that the Tribal Council enact the same. And whereas the Oglala Tribal Council agrees with the recommendation of the Land and Natural Resources Committee and believes that enactment of this resolution is in the best interest of the tribe and its members. Now therefore be it resolved that the Oglala Tribal Council does hereby approve the project known as construction of Wounded Knee Sewage Collection System expansion and lagoon renovation, hereinafter project. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council does hereby delegate authority to the tribal president, or in his absence, the tribal vice president, to execute grants of easement on tribal lands from the tribe as grantor to itself as grantee for the project, including grants of easement for the Wounded Knee Lagoons, access road, sewer main, sewer service lines, and appurtenances. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council delegates authority to the tribal president, or in his absence, the tribal vice president, to execute on behalf of the tribe all documents required for the grants of easement, including but not limited to the application for right-of-way required by 25 CFR subsection 101, documentation required by 25 CFR subsection 102. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council delegates authority to the tribal president, or in his absence, the tribal vice president, to execute on behalf of the tribe all other documents required for completion of the project. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council hereby declares that the project is in compliance with all applicable tribal ordinances and resolutions. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council understands and agrees that the Indian Health Service, other governmental agencies, and contractors and subcontractors hired by the tribe or by IHS or other governmental agencies may access the tribal lands impacted by the project in coordination and consultation with tribal officials in order to prepare environmental and Archaeological report, surveys and site assessments as needed to facilitate compliance with applicable federal and tribal environmental and land use requirements. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 U.S.C. subsection 169.107A, the tribal council hereby consents to the grants of easement across tribal lands for the project, provided the easement shall be from the tribe as grantor to itself as grantee, and provided further that duration of the easement shall be perpetual. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 CFR subsection 169.110, the tribal council waives the requirement of an appraisal and waives any compensation for the grants of easement from itself as grantor to itself as grantee. And be it further resolved, the tribal council has determined that a waiver of a bond, insurance, or alternative form of security under 25 CFR subsection 169.103F is in the tribe's best interest. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 CFR subsection 169.123, the tribal council declares that it is not aware of any modifications or mitigating measures necessary to satisfy any requirements under federal or tribal law. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 CFR subsection 169.130, the tribal council declares that the tribe shall be the owner of any and all improvements, appurtenances, fixtures, yeah, gee, you're right, Dave.
Fixtures, facilities, equipment constructed or installed inside the easements and said improvements. Appurtenances, fixtures, facilities, and equipment shall be maintained by OST Water and Sewer. And be it further resolved and pursuant to 25 CFR subsection 169.207, the tribal council declares that approved grants of easement may not be assigned or reassigned without the express written approval of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council, and no authority is delegated by this resolution to the tribal president or tribal vice president to approve or execute an assignment or reassignment of the grants of easement. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 CFR subsection 169.210, the tribal council declares that it will not permit a mortgage on effective tribal lands impacted by the approved grants of easement. Dave Poyer.
I don't know what number is right or wrong, but on the second page, in that second, be it further resolved, from the bottom, you go up, it says 169.107, and they're referring to grants and easements there. And then on the third page, the second to the last one, it's section 169.207. So which one of those, is it 107 or 207? Are they both right?
I think they're both right.
Because it's referring to the same thing, grants and easements.
One refers to the approval of the easement, the other refers to assignments, but I'm going to verify that right now.
Okay. But one of the things that we would like, do we want to put it in here that if there's any costs incurred for the archaeologicals and all that, that the IHS is going to be responsible for that? So,
For the record,
James Begeman, IHS in Martin.
thank you.
Yes, so that's part of those expenses are part of the IHS project that's already in place. And that project has already been approved by this council. So that part's taken care of.
okay, thank you. With that, is so moved, Mr. Chair.
Motion by David Poyer, seconded by Collins Clifford.
Is that going to be
So we'll add a be it further resolved clause to that effect.
Okay.
On the back end. Now therefore be it resolved? Is that what it's going to say? Or just another be it further? Finally?
It will be be it further resolved that the tribal council has been advised by the IHS that the costs of any environmental or archaeological surveys, site surveys will be incurred by the Indian Health Service as a part of the project.
Okay. All right. Motion and a second by Collins. Call for the vote, please.
Blaine Little Thunder.
Oh.
Jim Meeks.
Yes.
Austin Watkins.
Oh.
Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Stephanie Leisure.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross. Ella John Carlo.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow. David Poyer. Sonia Little Hawk Weston. Jackie Sears.
Ha.
Colin C.J. Clifford. Lisa Jumping Eagle Dalleon. Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Unanimous vote, 17 yes, 0 no. Thank you, council. Dave Poyer?
Mr. Chairman, the reason I held up on the first one, but I want the secretary to read it, and I don't wait for Mr. Gunn here, but there's some questions over this first one. I don't know if we want to read it, so I want Mr. Gunn to kind of explain this resolution before we get ready, before we read it, I guess.
This on the community water upgrade, the resolution is for grants of easement from the tribe, again, to the tribe. So the tribe will be the grantor and the grantee to put those easements in place for water system upgrades. And I've been told by Mr. Begeman that there's approximately $1.5 to $1.6 million that's been earmarked for these community upgrades, that the easements need to be in place. That at this time, the tribe, all is required is that it put the easements in place from itself to itself, because this is all over tribal trust land. And then at a future date, the tribe can decide whether it wants to transfer the easements to the United States in trust for the tribe to secure maintenance dollars that will be used by OST water maintenance on an ongoing basis. One of the difficulties is that the tribe doesn't have sufficient funds to maintain these water facilities, and so the Bureau of Reclamation has indicated a willingness to take on the lines and facilities and provide funding for maintenance, but it won't do that if they're in a condition of disrepair. It's a issue of taking on a liability. So once they're repaired, then they would be in a position to accept a transfer, and you would be in a position to decide if you want to make a transfer. But that's not a decision that you have to make today. So again, like the lagoon, it would be an easement from the tribe to the tribe. And so I can read this one, and if you're reading along, you will note that it will no longer say from the tribe to the United States. It will say from the tribe to the tribe, because we've been informed that the U.S. really wouldn't want to take on ownership of the lines or the easements until the renovation or upgrade work has been completed. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And I think we would include is it similar here that we would include a be it further resolved clause about archaeological and environmental and site survey, that'll be included as a part of the cost of the project to be paid for by IHS?
Yes, that will be covered by IHS.
Totally.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can read it. All right, so resolution, It's like punishment. If you write a long resolution, then you have to read it. Yeah. Okay. Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe delegating authority to the tribal president to execute grants of easement and other necessary documents for the Oglala North, Manderson, and Sharps Corner Community Water System upgrades. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14, 1935, and in accordance with Section 16 of the IRA of 1934, and under Article 3 of the Constitution, the Tribal Council is the governing body of the tribe. And whereas the Tribal Constitution authorizes the Tribal Council to negotiate with federal, state, and local governments on behalf of the tribe to approve the sale, disposition, lease, and encumbrance of tribal lands and interests in tribal lands, to manage all economic affairs and enterprises of the tribe, and to protect and promote the health and general welfare of the Oglala Sioux Tribe and its members. See Article 4, Sections 1A, 1F, and 1W. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe has entered into 3 memoranda of agreement, MOAs, with the Indian Health Service for projects known as the Oglala North, Manderson, and Sharps Corner Community Water System upgrades, which will involve installation of water mains, water service lines, and all appurtenances, installation of gate valves, fire hydrants, and renovation of existing water storage tanks on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. And whereas completion of the project will require that the Oglala Sioux Tribe grant easements over certain tribal lands where the project will be located, and such easement shall be granted by the tribe as grantor to the tribe as grantee, and provided further that the duration of the easement shall be perpetual. And whereas the Tribal Council is the body vested with authority to consent to easements over tribal land, and whereas the Land and Natural Resources Committee of the Tribal Council, having considered this matter, has approved this resolution and recommends that the Tribal Council enact the same. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council agrees with the recommendation of the Land and Natural Resources Committee and believes that enactment of this resolution is in the best interest of the tribe and its members, now therefore be it resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council does hereby approve the project known as the Oglala North, Manderson, and Sharps Corner Community Water System Upgrades Hereafter Project. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council does hereby delegate authority to the tribal president, or in his absence, the tribal vice president, to execute grants of easement on tribal lands from the tribe as grantor to the tribe as grantee. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council delegates authority to the tribal president, or in his absence, the tribal vice president, to execute on behalf of the tribe all documents required for the grants of easement, including but not limited to the application for right-of-way required by 25 CFR Section 101 and the documentation required by 25 CFR Section 102. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council delegates authority to the tribal president, or in his absence, the tribal vice president, to execute on behalf of the tribe all other documents required for completion of the project. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council hereby declares that the project is in compliance with all applicable tribal ordinances and resolutions. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council understands and agrees that the Indian Health Service, IHS, other governmental agencies, and contractors and subcontractors hired by the tribe or by IHS or other governmental agencies may access the tribal lands impacted by the project in coordination and consultation with tribal officials in order to prepare environmental and archaeological reports, surveys, and site assessments as needed to facilitate compliance with applicable federal and tribal environmental and land use requirements. And here we will add the be it resolved clause that the cost of all such reports, surveys, and site assessments will be borne by the Indian Health Service as a part of the project. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 U.S.C. Section 169-107A, the Tribal Council hereby consents to the grant of easement across tribal lands for the project, provided the easement shall be from the tribe as grantor to the tribe as grantee, and provided further that the duration of the easement shall be perpetual. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 CFR 169.110, the tribal council waives the requirement of an appraisal and waives any compensation for the grants of easement from the tribe as grantor to itself as grantee. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 CFR 169.116A, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council requires all payments will be made directly to the Bureau of Indian Affairs Pine Ridge Agency. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council has determined that a waiver of a bond, insurance, or alternative form of security under 25 CFR 169.103F is in the tribe's best interests. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 CFR Section 169.123, the Tribal Council declares that it is not aware of any modifications or mitigating measures necessary to satisfy any requirements under federal or tribal law. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 CFR Section 169.130, the Tribal Council declares that the improvements, appurtenances, fixtures, facilities, and equipment constructed or installed inside the easement shall be owned by the tribe, and said improvements, appurtenances, fixtures, facilities, and equipment shall be maintained by OST Water Maintenance and Conservation. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 CFR Section 169.207, the Tribal Council declares that the approved grants of easements may not be assigned or reassigned without the express written approval of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council, and no authority is delegated by this resolution to the tribal president or tribal vice president to approve or execute an assignment or reassignment or the grant of the grant of easement. And be it further resolved that pursuant to 25 CFR Section 169.210, the Tribal Council declares that it will not permit a mortgage on affected tribal lands impacted by the approved grant of easement.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Dillon asked me that, is this Mini-Wachoni dollars or IHS dollars?
These are BOR, Mini-Wachoni from BOR dollars. This is basically the end of the construction, Mini-Wachoni construction dollars.
I just wanted to make that clear for the record. I don't know why Mr. Dillon is so shy, but.
I don't know what happened there.
To pass the
So that is your motion. Seconded by Collins Clifford because Craig's too shy to second it. Call for the vote, please.
Blaine Little Thunder.
Oh,
Jim Meeks.
yes.
Austin Watkins. Chancey Wilson.
Yeah.
Stephanie Leisure.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Ella John Carlo.
Yes.
Richard Greenwell.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow.
Oh.
David Puyer. Sonia Little Hawk Weston. Jackie Sears.
Huh.
Colin C.J. Clifford. Lisa Jumping Eagle DeLeon.
Uh-huh.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Unanimous 17.
Unanimous 17. Collins Clifford.
James, I would just like to thank you on behalf of Nisa and our constituency of the Wounded Knee District.
And my appreciation back to everybody here, Tribal Council, Mr. Gunn, President Weston. Now I can get to work with our construction. Thank you all.
James, one last question before you leave. Is that going to be, especially the lagoon at Wounded Knee, I've been fighting for that for years. Is that going to be advertised shortly and construction starting in the spring?
Yes.
Thank you.
Are you finished, Mr. Begeman?
I am. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thank the council, that's all from the land committee.
Thank you. Next we have law and order, and so you have your, so I believe it's for the prosecutors? Two. According to Lydia, it's two, one for Kyle and one for Pine Ridge, right? Am I right? Clarification?
Yes.
Okay. Questions?
Motion to re-advertise.
We have a motion to re-advertise on the floor. Question, Chancey Wilson.
I guess this is for the HR, I guess. Last month, we tabled it to go back through the HR, the whole process, and we had quite a few more applicants, and now we're only down to 2. Did they not complete their applications, or what happened after last council meeting?
The HR Director, if you would, please.
For the record, my name is Michelle Porber. I'm the HR Director. When we received all the applications, my staff contacted all, originally there was 7 of them, and we made contact with them on numerous occasions to come in and complete the background questionnaire, to do the fingerprinting, the drug testing, the hair follicle, everything that was in place. Of the 7, the 2 you have completed those.
Question, Sonia Weston.
Yeah, I understand what we took action on last time, like what Chauncey's saying, but I have a applicant that says she applied, but she wasn't a part of this. So could you explain that, Michelle? Is she still going through that process? Ms. Hudspeth says she turned everything in over there.
Like I said, every one of the applicants were contacted, including her. She was to come in and complete her questionnaire, do the fingerprinting, the hair follicle. She was contacted a couple of times. She didn't complete what was given to them. Again, only the 2 applicants you have completed.
But there's still time for them to go through the other 2, right? There's 2 more positions, right? Yeah, there's 4 altogether. So there's 2 more that should be going through the same process.
Yes, I guess that's council's decision, how they want, if they want us to
Yeah,
re-advertise
re-advertise
through
those 2.
secretary's
Yep.
office or what, and then come back again, that's.
Yeah, I thought it was all 4 of them. It was all 4 of them. There was 4 positions. And but only 2 are making it, which you're saying completed everything.
Correct.
So I guess that's where it is. So she still would probably have time to go and do what they told you needed to do.
No, you need to remember, we have a motion on the floor before anything happens, before you make any recommendations. We have a motion to re-advertise everything right now.
All 4 of them?
That is a motion by Richard
No.
Greenwald right now.
Did you?
Yes, he did. Seconded by Dave Poyer. Well, you went like this. Or is that a peace sign? Question, Jackie Sears, Stephanie Leisure, and then Dave Poyer.
Yeah, there's 4 positions that are open, and we have 2, excuse me, there's 2 of them that completed on time, so I don't think we need to table the whole thing. Maybe just take applications for those last 2 positions. The reason why I'm saying that, there's people out there getting court issues, going to court and getting dismissed because there's no prosecutors. So, it's jeopardizing and hindering court procedures, so we need to put prosecutors in.
Yep.
Stephanie Leisure, Dave Poyer, Richard Greenwald.
But with our current acting prosecutors, is that their job as acting prosecutors to complete their cases so our cases won't be dismissed?
Dave Poyer.
Mr. Chairman, so then my question is probably for Michelle. How many prosecutors were advertised?
As far as I know, it went through the secretary's office. It was 4 open positions.
So then, is Mr. Greenwald's motion to advertise all 4 or just to advertise the 2 that's still there? Because really, they're all closed, right?
Yes, the council gave us 30 to come back this month with the completed applications, therefore that's what we did.
Well, yeah, so that, I mean, rather than...
Point of order.
Rather than because the motion that he's making, it says advertise, that's for 4, the way I'm understanding it. So I think we need to get it clear before we run the motion. It's for the two and seat the two that's applied, or how are we gonna do this? I think we need to, before we do the motion, before they're ran, I guess. Thank you.
Richard Greenwald.
Chair, I don't know why we have to just accept every time when we get applicants. They need to be qualified applicants. I understand that it could cause chaos not having prosecutors in there, but also having prosecutors that don't know what they're doing causes chaos in there. And that's what's happening right now. And that's why I think, in all fairness, we advertise, we need qualified applicants, not just anybody off the street that could come in there and it causes chaos in our courts, and that's what's happening in our courts right now. That's why I made the motion to re-advertise.
So we have a motion on the floor. Lydia Bearkiller.
I guess for the council or from the committee, this was moved to the council, and the incomplete applications was what was kicked back to HR. And these individuals took the time and the opportunity to complete what we asked them to do. And then now it comes back in front of us. So and when you talk about experience and qualifications and whatever, I think our prosecutors have been there for over a year. Because when we first hired these, I was in Martin when I first came on board, and the same applicants as the ones we hired. So my thought, is if we're going to re-advertise, I think we got to make it clear that these applicants that went through the whole process and brought their documents in front of us are not qualified or eligible. And then we don't have to be bringing them back. I don't think it's fair. And they are doing cases. Nothing stopped. They've been there temporary, and they're still prosecuting those cases. So I believe that with all due fairness, that the ones that completed should be given the opportunity not to be temporary, but to come in permanent within the, what is it? Is it a 2-year positions? I think they're 2-year positions. So that's my position. I don't think that, I feel like we need to table the whole thing. Thank you.
Collins Clifford.
I just want to say that out of respect for the two applicants, also, I feel very similar that these two positions should be filled, and then we re-advertise the other two that had not got filled, because respectfully, these two young men actually spent time here all day waiting for an interview, and if there's one in Kyle, there's one in Pine Ridge, and it sure looks like they could be set at their places where they're at now. So I would suggest that we fill these two and then advertise the other two. Because once you start putting qualifications on them, you're looking for a person law degree or a lot of law hours in college, and there ain't too many of them on our reservation at this time. There's a few, but they're still in class.
We can sit here all day and argue back and forth, but we have a motion on the floor. Second by Alajon Carlo.
I got one question before you.
No, we're done. Call for the vote, please.
Blaine Little Thunder.
Oh.
Jim Meeks, huh?
No.
Austin Watkins. Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Stephanie Leisure.
No.
Valentina Merdanian.
No.
Lydia Bearkiller.
No.
James Cross.
No.
Ella John Carlo.
Yes.
Richard Greenwell.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow.
Yeah.
David Puyer. Sonia Lilhawk Weston.
Yeah.
Jackie Sears.
Yeah.
Colin C.J. Clifford.
Yeah.
Lisa Jumping Eagle DeLeon.
Yeah.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
The motion to re-advertise, 4 yes, 13 no. Collins Clifford.
motion that we select these two young gentlemen and put them in the appropriate positions of prosecutor. for trial
Question,
and
Dave Poyer.
finance. And advertise the other two.
Dave Poyer.
Mr. Chairman, now I have a question on the law and order. That was it. So if we put these two to work, what two temporaries do we remove?
They are the
They are the
temporaries.
temporaries?
They are the existing temporaries.
Just want to, didn't know, don't hang around the courthouse.
Austin
I don't
Watkins
know.
and then Chancey Wilson. You're the second? But before you do that, Chancey has something to say, he wants to say.
I do, and it's for the Law and Order Committee, since we addressed the public safety and the dysfunction going on in that committee. Back in whenever we was in Martin at the tribal council meeting, this body took action to turn for the Law and Order Committee to start the process of turning the judges and the prosecutors back over to the BIA. So we had qualified individuals in all of them positions, and for some reason that went away after that meeting. If you guys fell asleep during the summer or what happened, but that was action of this council to turn that over for the Law and Order Committee to turn them positions over to the BIA.
Sonia Weston.
I hate to say that, Chauncey, but I think we did. Fell asleep for a while.
Austin Watkins.
The Law and Order Committee, but I think there was a lot of things that were put on our, that we passed, that I think tomorrow when we meet, we need to bring those back, and we need to see where they're at, what's going on with it, because it's easy to make motions and pass things, but if we don't have follow-up and we don't have somebody that's working on it and moving it, it just sits there. So I think tomorrow at Law and Order, we'll bring that back, we'll look at it. But I also want to say one thing, I'm looking through these two files. I want to say that these two individuals, to me, tribal members, are very qualified. They got qualifications in there, they got degrees in there. You know what? I'm proud of that, because every one of us went to school for a degree. And they're tribal members, so you know what? I want to put that out there, that they're complete with everything. We've asked for that, they brought it back, and so I want to say that we need to run that motion, because we need to
Well,
put our
and on top
prosecutors
of that,
in.
I would also like to, for each of one of you, that's why they're here, to do an interview. Let's hear from them. You're going to select them, but why not? Why not? Why not be that person instead of try to make that decision right now, at least to hear them out? See what I'm saying? So, but that's up to you. That's up to the council. We have a motion by Collins and a seconded by Austin Watkins to accept right now. Call for the vote, please. I already did.
Blaine Little Thunder.
Oh,
Whoop. I just got stopped right there. Legal opinion, right here, by our attorney.
Did I forget to say advertise the other two?
No, he's got something that really needs to. He was adamant about it, but now he's,
I mean, it just says in order code. It does say no person shall be considered for appointment as prosecutor unless his qualifications and competence have been examined by the tribal council, this actually says tribal court and police personnel board, and a report of such examination has been filed with the tribal council, and I know that there was an amendment to that.
so,
And the amendment says, no person, this is the amendment, so it's existing law now, no person shall be eligible to serve as tribal prosecutor of the Oglala Sioux tribe unless he or she, 1, is a member of the Oglala Sioux tribe, 2, is 25 years of age or older, 3, has lived on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation for at least 1 year immediately preceding his or her appointment. 4, has never been convicted of a felony and has not been convicted of a misdemeanor within the 1 year immediately preceding his or her appointment. 5, is a person of good moral character. 6, has prior experience as a prosecutor, prosecutorial investigator, public defender, lay advocate, paralegal, legal clerk, judge, or judicial clerk, or has other comparable experience or is an attorney licensed to practice law in any state. 7, has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice or another relevant field, or has comparable years of experience. 8, has knowledge of or demonstrates a willingness to learn the Constitution and criminal laws and procedures of the Oglala Sioux tribe. 9, is able to read, write, and understand the English language and is able to understand the Lakota language. Next, no person shall be appointed as a tribal prosecutor unless his or her qualifications and competence have been examined by the tribal council. And the salaries of the tribal prosecutor shall be as budgeted by the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council on a year-to-year basis. And that was enacted in April of this year.
Yep.
And just wanted to read the process.
So by this reading and examination of these applicants right here, does that constitute justification to do that? I believe so.
I think you're the sole judge of that.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Just want to make sure. So we have a vote on the floor.
Blaine Little Thunder.
Oh.
Jim Meeks.
Yes.
Austin Watkins.
Oh.
Chauncey Wilson.
Here.
Stephanie Leisure.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo.
No.
Richard Greenwald.
No.
Philip Goodcrow.
Oh.
David Puyer. Sonia Little Hawk Weston.
Ha.
Jackie Sears.
Huh.
Colin C.J. Clifford.
How?
Lisa Jumping Eagle Dalion.
Uh-huh.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
I will, as soon as we get done here. We have a vote of 15 yes and 2 no to select the existing 2 for our new prosecutors, 1 in Kyle and 1 in Pine Ridge. If Arlen Rowenhorse and Lance fills the pipe, please come to the podium.
Donna, did you bring the resolution for these?
For the selection.
Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
Good evening, council. Thanks for having us and listening and accepting our applications. You know, working in the legal system on this reservation is not easy, but it takes a lot of heart. You know, and you got to think about the people every time you wake up in the morning. I wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and I'm going to argue with somebody because that's what I like to do, argue. But at the same time, you have to understand the law. I know what the laws are. You guys create those laws. When you create those laws and you put them in, they come in front of us, we have to understand them. And we have to know what the process is for those. At the same time, keeping the people in mind and what their rights are and how they're. So I work with the officers, I work with the advocates, with the judges to help to create a better system for what we have. And you know, I'm not ashamed of anything I do. I go to bed at night, sleep good, and I get up in the morning ready for the next day because you know, it's something that at first I never wanted to do, is to put, you know, to put our people in their place. But you know, sometimes we have good. Today we had some hearings today, and we had a good success story that made me feel good because the guy thanked me for opening his eyes, for cleaning up his life. He has a good job now and working, doing something he's didn't think he would have been possible if somebody didn't step in and open his eyes for him. So with those success stories, that's all we have. Those stories, that's all we can look forward to and do the best we can and help out how we can. Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Mr. Willenhorst. Lance fills the pipe.
Yes, I'd like to say thank you for reviewing my application and having the confidence in me to be able to help our people. The way I look at prosecution is it isn't win or lose, but what I could do to help our people, whether it be being there to help protect our children and also helping our adults by helping to give them tools to make better decisions in their lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Closing statement?
I have one question. Who's going to advertise? Myself or the Secretary's office as before?
Dave Poyer.
I'll make that motion that they advertise for 30 days then, to those leftover.
Through the HR system? Motion by David Poyer, seconded by Sonia Weston. John Carlo has a...
Just an addition that all applicants must be completed before it gets to this floor so we don't have that helter-skelter like we did a couple meetings ago. Thank you.
Amended by the motion maker, right? Okay, second. Call for the vote, please. Sonia was the second.
Blaine Littlesunder.
Oh.
Jim Meeks.
Yes.
Austin Watkins. Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Stephanie Leisure.
Yes.
Valentina Merdanian.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Ella John Carlo.
Yes.
Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow.
Oh.
David Poyer. Sonia Lilhawk Weston.
Ha.
Jackie Sears.
Ha.
Colin C.J. Clifford. Lisa Jumping Eagle DeLeon. Craig Dillon. Unanimous, 17.
Unanimous, 17 yes, 0 no. Thank you, Council. I believe that's all. For the President's office, I have, yeah, you're doing the contract right now.
The second name?
Lance fills the pipe. He's doing the resolution.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, so I have, last thing I have on my agenda is Grandma Marie Randall. CJ, would you turn around and give her a few minutes, turn the microphone on, and then after that, we'll adjourn.
You can put it up, I could sit down. Hoea me takepi. Iu ha chato ashte na pe chiusa. Na wo apiska Johanna kapina. Wo ablaze ia chupiki hena. La khota oea teki. To kashke awi chaluk chapina awi chaluch tamheiti. Owi chakia kape. Na tona tiata na kapu hena. La khote we kile eu. Ea. Le omanicha ya kapina lila wa piska ota wa yushtampi. Ho eash. Lena. O kashpe. Napchug na kapi ki hena. It wichaka khne kapi ki hena. Kipi ki ha. Wa piska hena taku yushtam hechi. Onichia kapina. Usuta yushtapi hena unichia kapeki wastekte. I'm sorry I had to talk my
beautiful Lakota Indian language for my Lakota Oyate and my Lakota land. I'm grateful for the day that I brought someone here to talk about Washigala, the mourning of a mother. She expressed her feeling to you people. A lot of things are happening on our reservation. We need to have protection. Whichever way you can think to make a better way of protecting the Oyate, you should think about that and work on it, because there's a lot of things going on out there that I myself, I don't feel safe in my own home because of a lot of things that is happening in Wombly. But we don't have no protection. There's nobody out there to call upon the need of a law. So today I was sitting here listening to all the Washichu words and paperwork and Yuhata and approving this. Lakota Oyateki, we don't understand all this paperwork and all the approval and all this and that. We're Oyate, and that's what you are. Indian Reorganization Act is supposed to be protecting the rights of the Lakota Oyate and Lakota land. That's what we agreed upon, and United States, we shared our land because they need help, and we need help. We need to understand each other to walk in this Lakota land together. So we all shared our continent. And today, when you go home, representatives, go to your district meeting, create a meeting, explain to you what you approved of and what you're gonna let your Oyate walk. These are the things. We have 2 representatives in Wombly. I never heard of them holding a district meeting. I could say that because that's what I see and that's what I know in my district. I'm a Sichanghu, and I took advantage of the Oglala programs that were put out. And I was a health representative for 30 years. And I appreciate that program because it made me help my Lakota people understand the health care, the welfare of how the generation behind them is going to walk. These are my way of life. So thank you for letting me speak a few words, and I hope you have all the things that you approve of and listen to the concerns and grievances of the Oyate. Don't just listen and forget what is happening out there to the Lakota people. We need health care. We need welfare to look into things for us. And that's why you're appointed here as representing the Lakota Oyate. I really think a lot about Lakota language, my way of life of Lakota, because that's what this land was here for, the Oyate, the Lakota Oyate. So I'll thank you again for letting me speak a few words. I wish I could stand here and Lakota Yapiki. I would really express myself in my needs of the Lakota people of my generation. I'm 97, and I probably will be standing here forever, but I represent my Lakota Oeate. And what I want to leave behind for my Tlacojas to live is the inherent rights of Lakota Oeate. They have every right to have inherent rights, human rights for this land of Lakota Nation to live in. So think about those things. Don't just think about a piece of paper to sign and read. Think about the Lakota people. This is Lakota Nation. Let's reaffirm our nation and stand strong so that we can have our Tlacojas live in happiness, education, whatever they're entitled to. I would like that for you people to think about. Let's educate our Lakota children and tell them who they are. Let's let them know their identity and the language and the way of life of Lakota. We never had any, we had a peaceful life. Lakota Oeate. Otakuye. Otakuye is relation. Relation is really strong among Lakota people. We never cross each other's path and go against one another. We shake hands. We talk to each other. We recognize. We cherish our relationship. We don't care about materialism. Today, that's the world of today. Materialism is really strong. Relationship is nothing. You think about, you open the door and your neighbor comes for help. You shut the door because you don't care to talk to them. These are things that are happening in our nation. And we sit here, and we should make it better for us generation walking behind us. It's not, English is not my language. Lakota is mine. It's a beautiful language. And it's a beautiful world of Lakota Nation. Let's keep it beautiful and walk with each other in relationship. Lakotia, Oloa ehane ahiapi. Otakia ke ichela te wachila. Bichoka woyu hakitaku nishniye. Yeah. I think the song relates to relationship of the Lakota Oeate walking together, and materialism is nothing to them. They love their relationship. A lot of these young ladies going by me, I know them, I know the relatives. I sat and slept here in this room when we took over this building because I wanted a peaceful inherent rights for my Tlacojas. That's what I did. So thank you very much. I don't know I never met the president. Ehani John Steele Kshiaho Wachina Techiashna Ushkamp. And
We've met
respect
a
you
lot
for
of times.
listening to me.
We've met a lot of times. I'm Moon's younger brother.
And the attorney here, I respect you to listening, do your paperwork, do it for the people's benefit and better the community relationship and make it better for our younger generation to walk a better life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Lydia Bear Killer.
I was gonna, before they read the resolution, I was gonna make a motion that Bernona was temporarily in there and she stays in there till the other applicants come back and a selection's made. So that'll be my motion.
Motion by Lydia Bear Killer, seconded by Philip Goodcrow. Questions? Call for the vote, please.
Blaine Little Thunder.
Oh.
Jim Meeks.
Yes.
Austin Watkins. Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Stephanie Leisure.
No.
Valentina Merdania. No. Lydia Bear Killer.
Yes.
James Cross. Ella Giancarlo.
Yes.
Richard Greenwell.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow.
No.
David Poyer.
Yes.
Sonia Lilhawk Weston.
Ha.
Jackie Sears.
Ha.
Colin C.J. Clifford. Lisa Jumpin' Eagle DeLeon. Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Unanimous, 17.
Motion to maintain Bernona Kills Right status until filled. Motion carried 17 yes, 0 no. We have a motion to adjourn by Craig Dillon. Oh, we have a resolution to affirm the appointments of, hang on, I see you. I'm not blind. But we have a resolution that needs to be read affirming the appointments of Lance Fills the Pipe and Arlen Whirlwind-Horse. Law and Order Committee, here's your resolution. Or you want to read the resolution?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the attorney to go ahead and read it.
Resolution of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe appointing Lance Fills the Pipe. Is it Fills Pipe or Fills the Pipe? Fills the Pipe.
Phil's Pipe? Okay, Phil's
Okay,
Pipe.
then, forgive me, it's correct as written. Phil's Pipe and Arlen Whirlwind-Horse to serve as tribal prosecutors under the supervision of the Tribal Attorney General for a term of 3 years. Whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribe has adopted its constitution and bylaws by referendum vote on December 14, 1935, in accordance with Section 16 of the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, codified as amended at 25 U.S.C. Section 5123. And under Article 3 of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Constitution, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council is the governing body of the Oglala Sioux Tribe. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council has exercised its authority under Article 4, Section 1K of the Oglala Sioux Tribe Constitution to establish a reservation court with courthouses in Pine Ridge and Kyle. And whereas the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council has established 4 tribal prosecutor positions to prosecute criminal offenses in the Pine Ridge and Kyle courthouses, and whereas the 4 tribal prosecutor positions are filled by the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council under terms and conditions set forth in tribal law, including Chapter 1, Section 9 of the Oglala Sioux Tribal Law and Order Code as amended. And whereas having advertised the positions and having considered the applications of all qualified candidates, the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council enacts this resolutions to fill 2 of the positions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council of the Oglala Sioux Tribe hereby appoints Lance Philspipe and Arlen Whirlwind Horse to serve as tribal prosecutors for the Oglala Sioux Tribe under the supervision of the Tribal Attorney General for a term of 3 years, with salaries to be as budgeted by the Oglala Sioux Tribal Council on a year-to-year basis. And be it further resolved that the Human Resources Director will advertise the remaining 2 tribal prosecutor positions and bring the applications of all qualified applicants to the Tribal Council for its consideration.
Motion by Lydia Beerkiller, seconded. Question, Ella John Carlo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess my question is, who is the supervisor, since we don't have an attorney general? Who's their supervisor?
The executive director, I would assume. Okay. Do we need to clarify that in there? What's your thought? You're shaking your head at me.
Well, the ordinance says that it's the Attorney General. So if you're going to change it, you would need to amend the ordinance. But given that that position is vacant, I'm just looking to see real quick, give me a second.
You got something to say while he's looking, Richard?
Yeah, I mean, it's a real concern. I mean, one of them is a bus driver that continues to bus drive while he's a prosecutor, while he's acting. Now he's permanent, so that's an issue. If you're bus driving at Kyle and then you're still being a prosecutor and you come in after your bus route, I mean, you need a supervisor to say yes or no that you can or can't do that. You know, things like that need to be addressed, so they need to have a supervisor over them. You know, if you're supposed to use Justware that the courts bought for the prosecutors to maintain continuity and you refuse to use it, somebody has to be the boss to say you need to use this software, or things like that, you know, or case file review and manage cases. Somebody's got to be in there to manage those cases for these guys. So, real question.
Legitimate question. Very legitimate. And that goes back to, I want to say this goes back to the Law and Order Committee, because we need to get this Attorney General hired. Very, very much so. Sonia Weston.
President Weston, I think we'll discuss that in our Law and Order Committee tomorrow. We'll see where that's at. If any applicants applied, Donna, I think that was Ridge's office. We need to find out so we could start moving on that Attorney General. So could we get that to our meeting tomorrow? Sure. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So that will be coming down the pike. Do we have clarification?
I mean, it is under the supervision of the Attorney General. If you, I mean, that position is vacant, so one interpretation would be that it would go to the next level supervisor, but that would be for personnel matters, not for supervision of the actual legal work of the prosecutor. So, but they are going to need someone to sign their
PANs,
their PANs, their
time sheets.
So what you could do is add to the.
In the interim.
Did we vote on this yet?
Yes.
Well, you could add a clause that says for administrative matters, the executive director will have supervisory authority over personnel matters.
Yeah.
In the absence of for so long as the position of Attorney General is vacant, the executive director shall have supervisory authority over personnel matters.
So what? And so we'll just do the resolution as is. So the other question is the term of 3 years, not 2? Is it 3? 3 years? Okay.
But can I just,
Steve,
the thing that I just said, is that gonna be in the?
say that again. We're,
The thing that I just
Yes,
said,
that-
that will be in there?
that, you can add that in there, that, amend that to that, of what Steve just said on the resolution.
And that, it just, to be clear, that's really just for administrative and personnel matters, not supervision of their substantive legal work as prosecutors. I mean, if you're gonna amend that, then you really need to do it by ordinance to amend Chapter 1, Section 9 of the Law and Order Code.
We'll deal with it tomorrow. Yeah. It's only
Leave
gonna
it
be 1
as
month.
is?
Yeah, just leave it.
No?
Chair.
Richard
I think if
Greenwald.
you're going to do that, because you don't have Attorney General, it needs to be specific as to administrative only, that they're not to be involved in the judicial matters of the daily stuff, but the administrative matters only.
Until such time AG is filled, then they fall back under the AG.
And we will add that on there, but we can just go on and call for the vote, please.
Lane Littlethunder.
Oh.
Jim Meeks.
Yes.
Austin Watkins. Chancey Wilson. Stephanie Leisure.
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
Yes.
Ella Giancarlo. Richard Greenwald.
No.
Philip Goodcrow.
Oh.
David Puyer. Sonia Little Hawk Weston.
Ha.
Jackie Sears.
Ha.
Colin C.J. Clifford. Lisa Jumpin' Eagle DeLeon.
Uh-huh.
Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Steph, did you say no or yes? This one you just did. I heard you say yes and she heard you say yes.
Motion did carry. 13 yes, 1 no, and 2 not voting. 3 not voting. We have a motion on the floor by Craig Dillon to adjourn. Seconded by Austin Watkins. Question, Tina Mardanian.
I just want to take a minute to update council in regards to the constitutional reform district meetings that are coming up. So for this coming weekend, December 2nd, Saturday, Porcupine District, 9 to 4 p.m., Father Polly Hall. Oglala District has been postponed due to a death in the community. Wounded Knee District, 9 to 4 p.m., Wounded Knee School. And for the school upcoming constitutional reform summits, Crazy Horse, December 5th, Pine Ridge School, December 6th, and Little Wound School, December 7th. And then we have an overall Student Council Summit coming up on November 30th. And so with that, I just want to remind everybody, what district meetings are coming up for constitutional reform for December 2nd. So with that, yep, and we provide lunch for the people.
And the
Okay.
the 30th, that there's 10 to 12 for the youth council out to Porcupine School.
Porcupine School or Porcupine School?
School.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you for that. We have a motion and a second on the floor to adjourn. Call for the vote, please.
Lane Little Thunder.
Oh.
Jim Meeks. Jim.
Jim Meeks, do you want to go home?
Yes, please.
Austin Watkins. Chancey Wilson.
Yes.
Stephanie Leisure.
Yes.
Valentina Mardanian.
Yes.
Lydia Bearkiller.
Yes.
James Cross.
No.
Ella John Carlo. Richard Greenwald.
Yes.
Philip Goodcrow. David Puyer. Sonia Lilhawk Weston. Jackie Sears.
Ha.
Colin C.J. Clifford. Lisa Jumping Eagle Dalion. Craig Dillon.
Yes.
Don't leave yet. We got a closing prayer to do. Motion to adjourn, 14 yes, 1 no, and 2 not voting. Thank you very much. If Lisa Jumping Eagle would give us our closing prayer, please.
Tukasha, thank you for this beautiful day. It was a long day, and we had some long discussions, and we kept our families and our friends and all our relatives in our hearts so we could make sound decisions for them. And would like to ask you to wrap your arms around those who lost loved ones and heal those that are sick and need strength. Tunkashila, Wopila.
Thank you. Safe travels, everyone.